is mainly centered around season 10, a way forward, a plan, um, moving forward, a plan for season 10 and beyond. So right now we're more concerned about season 10, looking back at what we did in season 9, the ones we did well, and the ones we probably could have done better, and then the ones we should have probably left behind. So we did all that with our retro. Trying to A video of the retro is actually uploaded in our YouTube channel, so you can check that out if you perhaps did not get a chance to participate in the retro. So our retro was let me open the Figma file. So our retro was not the regular retro. It is more like an async retro where we have um, files. We have retro formats down, and then you can just go to the file, input your suggestions, and then we get back to that when next we are doing the synthesis. So we had the privilege of having, of getting some feedbacks. Whenever I see feedbacks, I'm very glad because it's is that is only when you are doing something actually. Because when you have oh sorry, I'm trying to open the rental file. So when you have an organization, or let's say you have a team of people working together, there's always a need to want to improve some things, and then there's always a need to want to um p- probably just remove some stuffs, some operating processes and all that. So either ways, removing or adding something, you might sometimes, make it uncomfortable for others. Not uncomfortable in a bad way, but just I can't really deal with this, but yeah, I'll just manage to deal with it or something like that. So um what happens is for us to get over that and to make sure we don't encounter any sort of quarrel breaking out within the group and something like that. There's usually a technique say they kind of like have a roundtable discussion, and each member portrays they table their own thoughts, views on everything that's been run so far, and then suggestions are made which are mostly taken well because Mr. A have their own suggestions, Mr. B also have their own suggestion, and then at the end of the day, you get to look at things from a different perspective. I mean, you can look at things and say, "Oh, this is what I see," and then Mr. B might not be saying what Mr. A is saying. So at the end of the day, when they have the sentences, they have the round top, the tabletop, the working process. So glad we had the sync retro, and while I was also glad we have feedbacks from members. So most of oh I apologize for that. I thought I was sharing my Figma my FigJam screen. Let me hear that. Okay. You can see my screen. Yes.
Yeah, I can see your Figma screen now.
Um. Yeah. So these are action items were discussed. Okay, before I get to the action items, let me just do a quick recap on um, that we have what we should stop, and here are some suggestions that were where you can see their name here if you. I think this is Cosine, I'm sure, Richard, and Colade. Mostly from members, not all the members, because for a while the kind of like on the low side, but we are still from that we have members that still have the positive we taking in all the synthesis here. And thanks to Oxlaw for that, for making that happen. Because I know they spent most of their time trying to, um, you know, synthesize the above, the below comments and making them into a whole action items. So where we know, okay, you basically know where to start off for the season. What we are doing, what we did last season that we shouldn't do this season. What we did last season, what we did not do last season that we should probably start doing this season. So they are all here, and okay, GM Horaku, GM Gabby, um, welcome to our call. This is the project management guild first call for first of all for season 10. So welcome. Yeah. So getting back where now we have this this is um, we what we offer. So we offer two services. Mm, yeah, because this practice to practice to us that are willing to learn the hopes of um, you know hosting retros and co-hosting retros and all that. We have them practice that with guilds or projects that are willing to accept us, on the terms that we are not going to, it is not going to be a paid service, and both parties, profit, gain something from it. Because either ways, you are doing it right also. You have to, you how rentals are being exactly to it and how to the card. So what happens here mostly is we send um, to guilds or departments asking them if they would a retro done. Now, depending on their response, if they want, they can ask about what is retro and all that. Then we send them. We have a flyer that we made. Class, seven sizes. Seven, yeah. So we send it to them. This highlights everything they need to know about the retro, and then they get back to us. So we now give them the option to pick a paid retro or a practice retro, giving them the pros and cons of each of them. Kind of like, yeah. So depending on their choice, to the we the name of the PMB is basically someone that's done against, where to PMB. And show that even if your real life project about showing your experience, posting the retros for the guild, and how you do that is basically by hosting practice retros. So if you do that 2-3 times, and then we have people to check those because the so to the videos and give pointers on how to improve the retro. And then, sometimes depending on member, or you can just have another new section to provided that you go to the previous comments for the retro you held, and you work on the suggestions, the improvements that suggest managers out of the project. What happens is sometimes we have projects that are not they're having a hard time achieving their set KPIs, and they can decide to say, "Oh, but after this retro, why not send a PM to us that work with us as part of our team to just help so we can achieve our KPIs on time without wasting any resources." So we can do that as well. And then the pay and the payment for the services being PM by the that PM being paid to the PM themselves. So the team, yeah, we have a map which is being updated every season by cartographers. We call them the dark cartographers. So if you want to check out the map, I, I attached a link to that. Our okay, wait. Let me get the link. I think it's yes. Maybe so. So let me just send the link. So Sobo is more like a map that defines the organizational structure. So you can basically go to how the data is structured of guilds projects uh, departments in because without going to the servers one by one. So you can just go the overview, and then you can also get more in-depth information if you zoom in, and then you click respectively on each of the projects or guilds or departments, or even so I will select to send the link so before the end of this call fully. And I think that answered this. And still to have and do other things like that. From one of these, okay, I'm not supposed to be doing this synthesis again. I'm just trying to like walk us through, and basically we don't have much agenda to do today and talk about what we do moving forward, and including the elements as well. So I don't want to like take anyone's time. I just go through most of this, and inconvenience for more information on the synthesis was done. So suggestions to have the work two of tasks every time, every other week. So this is what we do every week. That is why it is called a weekly tactical meeting. So it's not a weekly call, which is being done by other gigs, being done for that and tasks that chosen for provide suggest maybe um, we have a task that's been done by a single contributor to work with PMUTs. This is subject to change because we are going to discuss about in this retro we have suggestions about the time not being favorable for so I look for a perfect time, to fit in for everyone, if not everyone. So um season 10 we have a maximum of 240K bank per guild. Yeah. So this is the new strategy, and this is the new measure by the that to make it's been again, but yeah, trying to like the operating cost of the guild down, and I think they succeeded in doing that thereabouts. So yeah, so we weeks, which is 16 weeks, multiplied by the contributors. That is the funding, but now it is now a base price of 240K bank per guild. So yeah, and create a schedule plan for subjects for each of those updates, and the date for them should fit with what the guild is working on. Hmm. Create a schedule plan for subjects for each. I think this is directed at the education work stream, which is great. Uh, don't think that here. Uh, check to them. Um, okay. Uh, sorry. Yeah. So we have the education work stream usually have a weekly session, a weekly learning session. It's usually two. Game do it. Um, we are going over the result of the last little week. Basically, just trying to touch some few parts there, and you know how we're going to, like, based on these results, move forward this season. So there is a suggestion to create this schedule or plan for subjects for each of those updates and the date for them. Uh, I will need to check it because I don't really get what that is about.
Mikhail?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's been a while, but I think this thing is connected with the post-it on the left. To
Okay. Here.
yeah, so if we move, for example, to have the tactical meeting every other week, and then we have different subjects that we discuss on the other weeks. We should have some sort of a plan for those. I think that's the uh, schedule plan.
Get back the meeting and the contents of the tactical meeting itself, like what it's about. Right?
Yes, and the content. So if we decide to have tactical meetings every other week, and then the other weeks when we don't have a tactical meeting, where we do other things like brainstorming questions, work on projects together, or prioritize stuff. For example, a guild strategy session. So it's Kole, if on the next one, uh, Kole had an example from the marketing department, and he will provide some examples and share on the general PM general. And maybe if he wants to share something, could share something from the uh, working on. We can show will we say these kind of things.
I get that now. And as regards this as planning, the critical to RSA had to come in and talk about the brand alignment, and during the after party, where that's after the community call, there were talks being made about um, I think that's what has been a huge thing in the DAO for a while now. It's how to like t- have a generating model, revenue generating model for the DAO. Sorry, um, how to work within what they have, and still retain some talents. So most of the time on the call, I've been stuck with thinking about we have the TL bank. So the TL bank itself, I asked the question on they think they think we can utilize the TL bank in a way, or probably create utility for the TL bank in a way that it will um, affect the bank token in a positive direction. Because if you check the charts, no, most times, see the bank token is most times on the downside of the chart, and we have TL banks, which basically is sort of like a guest pass, but what you need to do is more like than a site of bank. Yeah, it's for 600 lots. Is the bank token itself. that would be a good thing for the DAO and for the token. And also, this is something the project management guild can, can tackle, because we have project managers here, we have critical thinkers here, we have innovators here that can tackle, like think of a way to to solve this. And we, going back to this here, saying should forward the suggestion to GC. I think this is a very, very good thing. It's a very good suggestion, by the way. And starting from this, so you, sorry, you want to. I was thinking maybe we could, have sessions where we can just, it's not just a random session. It's something we have discussed or something. Someone must have an idea before we can start the session. Then we can now brainstorm on the idea, work on the idea, and come up with something. Probably a way to utilize the TL bank, because basically it's more like um stashing a huge amount of money away in, probably, maybe in a container in a warehouse. It has no use. You're not using it. Whereas you could invest that money. I'm not saying we should invest the lock token. I'm just giving an example. You could invest that money, and then you can get returns on the money you locked up. So instead of investing the bank token, I would also just invest in the bank token. We could just, you know basically think of a utility, something that will provide utility for the TL bank in a way that it will affect the bank itself. Because right now there is little to no correlation between the TL bank and the bank token, which is good, because if that is connected, the bank you locked up will be messed up. So yeah, I agree on that. Does anyone have anything to say to what I just mentioned? Maybe if you have been thinking of something like that as well. Uh, the Oxlaw, I can see your message now. I'll send the notes over in the chat channel.
Yeah, Jim.
So yeah,
Yeah, sorry, I joined the meeting late. Um, I was somehow having to sort some other things. So I think you've spoken well. Yeah, you've spoken well. We can actually I'm thinking we can schedule a meeting where we'll sort this. Apart from aside the technical meeting that we do have, we can have a meeting probably a time when we'll talk about this thing and sort it and have a very good plan around it. So that's my addition.
yeah. So thank you for that. Suggestions has been raised earlier. The the letter we did suggesting we have time set apart for that. So um, yes, I'm giving my own observation as regards the call I attended today. So yeah, that's no big deal. But we know we are going to come up with that means we could have, you know 2 3 meetings, maybe two. Three might be a stretch. 2 meetings, so we don't wear out members. And obviously there are some members here that are contributing to other gigs, so we don't.
Makil,
Yep, come in.
if I heard you were suggesting to have maybe more than one meeting a week. What we were discussing when we had the retro was to only have one meeting a week, but that we don't have a tactical every week, because there's at the moment it's not really going on that many projects that we need to have a tactical on a weekly basis. That at least that was what we're discussing. That so instead of spending a lot of time on tactical, we should spend time on, for example, brainstorming on how to make TL Bank. How what can we utilize it for, or other projects, or learning from each other.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for that. When I mentioned 2, 3, I instantly retracted 3 because I knew that would be a set. That could
Yeah,
be a set. You know, and so I having our meetings fixed with transpose with the tactical meeting is a very good thing. I mean, we can only have a tactical meeting when we actually have something, we have a project we're working on, or a certain time. So yes, we wanted to discuss about the time for the meeting themselves. So I think that will come right after. I'm trying to check if we have something else we could discuss about. Okay, the time is here. So on the suggested time, we have UTC or 6 p.m. UTC. So what we do is we're going to have we are supposed to have a poll. Normally, a poll lasts for 7 days. That's 1 week. So that means if we have a poll now, next meeting we'll probably be having um, we'll probably be having a meeting at still at 7 p.m. UTC. Which is the time we wanted to change. So that is not going to actually materialize until after next to the second week, the coming week after the second. So instead of doing it like that, I suggested we have the poll on the call. You know, members on the call can vote on a certain time, and then we can just announce that time in our PM General for other members that are not in the call to see, so that they know the time for the call has been changed. And then I can also edit the PM start here to reflect the new time. So we have two options there. We have 5 p.m. UTC and then we have 6 p.m. UTC. I think 5 p.m. is just after the uh oh 6 p.m. UTC is just after the community call. 5 p.m. UTC is somewhat inside the community call time. So, how do we do that here?
so I think the
I
reason why we put 5 or 6, we couldn't remember exactly when the community call was. But the suggestion was to have it after. But I was thinking maybe, what about having like 10 or 15 minutes after the community call? So if people need to get a glass of water or something between those two meetings, 10 minutes
yes,
maybe.
yes. Um, so you're saying maybe 6 6:10 p.m. UTC.
Yeah, for example.
Um, we have a suggestion for 6:10 p.m. UTC. If you second that suggestion, okay. Do we also have anyone with a suggestion of their own apart from 6:10 p.m. UTC? Maybe 6:20, 30. Anyone?
Yeah, what about 7 p.m. UTC?
7 p.m. UTC is still the time we are doing the meeting right now. So yeah.
Yeah, oh, I
Yeah.
mean, okay. You're talking about same day, the meeting, right? For a tactical meeting.
Yes.
The tactic we are not actually having. Okay. To say sorry.
We were talking about having it on the Friday. And then we will. I guess it's another discussion if we should start alternating between tactical and something else on the Friday. But yeah, the Friday meeting.
Yeah, I think we can have it after the Friday meeting, around 15 minutes.
So what did you suggest? Right?
That's 15 minutes after the tactical meeting. Then we can talk about it.
Yeah, but now I think we're not. The suggestion is to change the time for our weekly. Regardless, not add meeting.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. That's awesome.
What I would want members to do now, what I would like, if there is no other suggestions for time, that we should post the call, we have to the time they want. Just go to the chat channel and add a reaction under the time you would prefer. So that way we know um, we know which one and we know which one we should go for. So that would be a collective decision, not a single person decision. So the you have the time. The time starts now. You can do that now. Go to the voice chat channel and then you know react to a time that you feel is more favorable. Uh, I can only see one reaction so far, and we have more than we have you know more than 6 members, seven in fact, more than 7 members on the call. So if you can hear me, go to the chat channel and add your reaction to the text that to the times that were provided, so we can know when exactly we should change our meeting time to. Thank you. So we still have more time. You can still add your votes. Just react to the time there. Mm. So we still have more time. Some time. We have one more minute. So we can stop the vote at exactly 8:40. Sorry, it's for 7:40. Yeah, it is. Okay.
That means the meeting time still remains the same, right?
Yes.
Isn't it 1 hour earlier?
Yep. What were you saying? Slide.
So Hyplat said if we say PM, that's this now. Meeting is isn't it? PM. Yeah, so that's not changing it.
Yes. So it's 7 p.m. UTC. That's our usual meeting time. So if we were to change it, that should be something other than 7 p.m. UTC. So this is 8:40, which means the voting has ended. So Okay, go is typing. Let me just wait for that. So we have the first time 6 p.m. UTC. Do we need to change? If you want to, if you change, you can change your options. One more, I mean, and click on the same emoji, and then click on the next emoji you want. Just, just do that. So once you click on something you reacted to, it remove out your reaction box. Just so I started the that is also so you can add that to the votes. The only thing is we'll have to do the voting again. But that is not something we can do. So
But I think someone has voted on 2 because we're only 10 people in the meeting and there's 11 votes.
that means Kosti is okay. Someone voted on two. I voted on the three of them actually. I just want to make sure the emojis are there, so we can react to them. So if you take one out of each of the votes, that means we have no votes for 8 p.m. UTC. We have 4 votes for 7. Oh, now I see. We have the same votes for 6 and 7. Something is wrong. So how can someone vote twice? Is that possible?
Yeah, I think you have voted 3 times.
Yes. So it's just to keep the emojis. You know what? Let me just remove mine. So that way, yeah. So we still left with okay, part 5. Okay. So yes. So the new time is 6 UTC. That is oh depending on where you are, Kosti, we utilize the UTC time zone here. So we just have that converted to your own time zone if you are not in the UTC time. So that's just basically it. So
But I think, actually, our Arcasti is right. The CC meeting is 5 p.m. So, but it lasts for an hour. So the first time we can have our meeting is 6
yeah,
p.m.
I think the system PM works, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's like 10 more minutes after the CC. Okay, cool. Thank you, Kosti, for that observation. So yeah, our new time is 6:10 p.m. UTC. Let me add that to the notes. Notes.
But we should have 10 votes because we're people.
I moved mine actually.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you, I think you're.
Oh, sorry. I should. My vote is here. So we have 10 now. I will edit the time for the PM start here, so new members can see that 7 p.m. UTC but 6:10 p.m. UTC. So yeah, that is the first thing. I mean, that's the first of many of what we wanted to discuss today. So now that the time difference is set aside, we want to discuss about um, the role holders election, which was earlier discussed in the PM governance. So I'll start off by giving a short recap of what happened last season and what happened the seasons preceding last season and what happened last season and subsequently. So normally the way it works is before the new season, we have like members from members list that would want to election go for office. So what we do is announce the commencement of the election process, and then you can nominate yourself, you can nominate someone, for the poll, and then once the time for the nomination closes, we can ask the nominee to accept or reject the nomination. So once that is done, if we have two people going for the same post, we set an election poll which lasts for a week. So if we have one person going for the same poll, we just announce that okay, the person has been elected as the for that season. So that's usually how it is done. Now, now, going back to season 8, now I think it is 9. Yes, we had an issue. We have a role holder stepping down. They have some other tasks they need to do in the DAO. So the queen makes two of them together, so they have to step down. So someone had to step in as a convenience election. So the election was not held per se, but yeah, someone stepped in for that role to handle the role for the season till the next season. And then once the season came by, the person handling the role figured that or felt that they couldn't, there are times they should be available that they are not available. That is not their own factor. It's more like a time zone thing. So we came up with the suggestions to have two people manage the role so that when Mr. A is not available, Mr. B is available to to work as the role in question is the cube coordinator. That was between GCal and Links. Links is still in the DAO. GCal is pretty much still in the DAO, but it's not that active. So yeah. So they had to and yeah they have a work they have their own work web two, I guess, their project management. So they could not juggle that with the guild, but because there was not enough time to have a new election, they just figured they would continue with the role, but split the responsibility with Lens, who expressed this his intent to take it on and help relieve his stress, the workload. So that was what happened for uh, season 7, 8, yeah, 7 to 8. Now season 9, season 8 ending, we had a new election where um, I was the talent coordinator then. So I was going for the education coordinator also. And then we have Oxlaw being nominated for the guild coordinator. Then along the way, we had a switch in the role, Oxlaw and I. So they went for the talent coordinator, I went for the guild coordinator, which was what you know, how we ran the whole of season 8. And then season 9, because we had less members that of kind of wanting to fulfill to complete the work process. We don't want it to someone is starting and then when they leave they drop it. They drop it and then someone takes over. Someone might the person taking over might decide that okay, now this is not my first priority. I want to focus on something else. So to prevent having um, um, work done, we decided on having a consensus before having the election. So how the soft consensus work is we have a poll that is being set in the PM governance where we have questions like, do you want a said person to continue in this said role? Yes. So if the number of is more than the number of no, person can continue. But then there is also the option to to ask the person that said no to explain the reason behind their choice so that we can know how to proceed from there. And if the reason is more factual, we have to hold an election for that role, which
McGill, you disappeared or I did?
Yeah, can anyone hear my cue?
No, I think he got rugged. I see
Oh,
our Kasi can hear me, but not McGill.
right.
Or Kasi, I'm not sure if McGill saw um, what you said that the CC meeting is 4 to 5 p.m. UTC.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And I think I voted for the wrong time because it's so confusing. I need I need a UTC widget in front of me
Yeah.
because I went back to the Discord on the
Yeah, that was smart.
and I tried to convert the time and I got it wrong and then I went back to the original calendar message to confirm the 4 p.m. time for the community call.
That was smart.
I don't. Is McKeel's trying to rejoin? I,
can you hear me? Was work.
Yes,
yeah,
we can
yeah,
hear you now.
we can hear you, but the screen sharing now is
Yes, on my mobile. I'm on mobile now. I was logged on my
okay. Yeah,
laptop. I don't know.
okay, so then the laptop screen it's stuck in limbo right now. It's
Yes.
sort of
Yes. So as yeah, but I hope everyone heard what I said before the log. Do I need to repeat some parts?
You got rugged just after explaining that in season 8 we had a self-consensus for a role holder if role holders, and I was pretty clear what I think that self-consensus is do in season 6. You and me and a few others, we've had roles for 8 months straight or 7 months straight. It's very important to rotate because I think it's the best way to learn in the backlist now. to be a role holder. You start, everything is a little bit difficult, and then it's get better and better.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, of course. So no, I think I'm for that as well. I'm for that suggestion. But the reason we had the soft consensus then was I think there's this incident that happened with Sprinkles for Winners. They were the education coordinator, I think for season 7. Yeah, for season 7. They had this course you were taking on now. By the way, okay, yeah, we can talk about that later. Which is the course you're taking on now, Web 3 PM course that they worked on for the entirety of their season. I mean, before they were before they were removed from their role. So the course is mainly on PM, Web3 PM, governance, education, and all that. But the course they did not get to finish the course. I would assume they did not get to finish the course because it was quite bulky and it took a it took a long while and everyone decided that based on what they read and the content of the course that it is better to have it in chunks, to have it brought down to little chunks that can then be then be produced by the academy. Why I hooked again? By the academy to use for their Bankless Academy website as a course on Bankless PM or a course on Web3 PM. So I think you are taking on the project now, you and Innovator, and I think two other contributors you mentioned. Right? Correct.
I was talking about role holders. So, talent lead, guild coordinator, all of these.
Yeah, I know. I'm still talking about the role holders. I'm just talking about the what happened, why we decided to use this of consensus.
Yeah. That's
Right?
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But I fully agree. It's just we did that in season 9 with all the good reasons that you already said. But that's why I think that now it's another season, so now we should take the time and have the full process again.
Of course.
But that's just my opinion. I think there's other people in the meeting that should everyone should have their opinion.
Yeah,
It's open.
yeah,
Yeah.
everyone.
So, yeah.
So I think there was a time in the past season that we talked about a number of seasons for a number of tenure for, or is it a number of seasons now? Like a kind of tenure for rulers that number of seasons they will not be able to, will not be able to use the soft consensus for them again. But I think what we have presently, I'm not sure if it was 2 seasons or 3 seasons that we agreed upon. But I think there has been an agreement on the number of seasons for Roloda before. Maybe we can just look into that.
And there's another. We went from 3 months to 4 months per season too. So I think that's also important because 3 seasons now is a whole year.
Yeah. So I think it was 2 actually. It was 2 seasons. Like from when the soft consensus started to 2 seasons. That is I mean we were coming from 3 then now to 4. That is 8 months for a role, and then after that they have to step down. I mean just have a rest and let other active members come in and try out the role with the same intent. So when they get in, and then the subsequent season they get a soft consensus, and then after that, just a cycling of the process to make sure everyone is involved in the governance process. So yeah, it is two, not three. Um, is there anyone else?
Yeah,
Does anyone else want to say something?
Jim. Yeah,
Yeah.
Jim. Yeah, I actually have a suggestion. Um, so I think the what we're talking about is very important, and it actually needs to be looked into. But looking at season 10 is almost we started already. So I'm thinking of okay, Makil, I want to ask you the what we're talking about now. This is what the project management youth agreed on. So I want to ask: is it possible that we have a redefinition, like a new planning around election after this season? I'm having a suggestion if we can make it part of one of the things that we will talk about in this season and plan. So that okay, in season 10 we would plan about how we're going to be having this thing, the election for the subsequent seasons. So we would have a very good plan around it. I mean, a new plan. If we're going to do some kind of adjustments or we're going to retain what we've been doing, everyone will talk about it. But I think it's late starting this season because we almost started the season already. So if we can actually put that into consideration and then work on it this season, so we can take note of that as we go into the season, we plan around it and have a defined method of election.
Um. Okay. Uh. I think the what usually happened then. I mean, back when it was 3 months, is by the second month we are already preparing for election. So at the end of the third month, the role holders that if they happen to not be the next person, like to not be the same role holder for the following season, they already ha- getting ready to assign that task to someone else, like to the person that got in or to the new role holder, like preparing a sort of this is how you go about this task or something like that. And then there is also the option to kind of like keep in touch with that outgoing role holder, and then you get to learn from under them while being on the job, like while being in the role. So if we are going to have an election, kind of like revamp, it's I mean, I would have preferred it if we had done this last season, actually, like talked about this last season, or probably mentioned it in if it was mentioned in our retro, I think we would have discussed about this, and then this season would have been a fresh start, and then we would have an election. But I don't want it to be about me. I'm a guild coordinator and all, but yeah, I don't think I should be the one making the decision for the whole guild. So I don't know. I still want to leave the floor open to members. If you have, what you think. Do you think we could have that if we are starting to have a new reform to our election process now? Sorry, if you're having that now, that means season 10 will still have the same role with us. But if we have done it in season 9, season 10 would have been different. Or is there another way you think we could we could go about that? Anyone on the call? Kosi, Flora, uh, Oracle, Samuel BG, Wednesday, Ipolai, Tiffany, Gabby, Gray. Anyone?
Yeah, Jim. So like I said earlier, I think we need to have a defined uh, planning around this. So if we can actually make this a major discussion, an agenda for this season. So in this season, you know that okay, as we proceed to further seasons, this is how we're gonna do this, and this is how we're gonna do this. So I think it's very important we look into this in this season and probably set some times to discuss about it. And the next season will have a change of method of election. So I think others should speak about it. So thank you.
Thank you. Um, the floor is still open to more
Um,
suggestions.
Jen, once again. So I personally think we are behind schedule already because we want to go in the route of normal election now. We have at least a week for nomination and another week for election. And before we know it, we are in we'll be around 6th week of the season already. So I'll just say we plan from now against next season and see what we can do from there.
Okay, I'm back now. So, Gabby, I got that right, right? Gabby. So, your suggestion is that we start the planning for the revamping the election from now, and then before the end of the season, then we already have a sort of definite method to our
Yes,
election
we
process.
can even we can even have it documented. But for now, we can just continue with the consensus. That's just my thought.
In a case the elected, I mean the nominated Goluda wanting to step down, how do you go about um, Oxford? What do you say about what do you think?
Yeah, I think consensus is it's too late for season 10. So what Gabby said, find we can even find a date like uh, after 10 weeks or 12 weeks. That's when we start the election process. We can make that decision today because we know approximate the nomination will take a week, and then election a week, and then the new role holders will have a couple of weeks for overlap.
So new election will be um, say will be 8 weeks. That is good. Okay. Yeah, that's 12, right? I think that's 12. That's the third month, and then the fourth month, the end of the season, right?
Yeah, we have 16 weeks right now, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So if I can put up a proposal in the governance chat. Just write a very short proposal on what week we will do what things, and then that's I think that's a good suggestion from Gabby.
So, so yeah, so I'll wait out. You can also put the proposal in the what's it called? Yeah, in the PM forum. You know, if you, so that in case members want to add comment, add
Yeah.
maybe more from their part and something like you could just send it out, tag the PM guild members, and then you know you can take comments, you can reply to comments there, just is a way of kind of like arranging and keeping everything neat, so that if we can also go back there any day to to check on them. This the forum room is more like its own thread. So it's not a thread inside a thread that disappears. This stays there as long as the Discord server is active. So we can always go back to that. We can always refer to that. So yeah, if you could do that, that would be awesome. But if you want to use the thread, that's also good.
Yep, I did SCC. I made a proposal under the forum. I'll make it. I'll put it there.
So I think that's today, and I can see we are already 12 minutes after our scheduled time to stop. Oh, next. Oh, I forgot to add. Of course, is this something we can, come to? Maybe it's called we had around uh, bank
On where you want to go with it? Perfect.
So the let me just go. So I'll add the bullet line here, and pretty much it for today's call. And I would like to say a big thank you to everyone. I mean the content from this season, working together, making sure we achieved, we were able to complete this set of tasks. Is not a small feat. I mean, takes a great deal of time from your end, from everyone's end, and I appreciate you all. And I wish we have, I wish we with season. The season 10 is actually a season, and changes to come from the PM Guild. We should also be this I think can arrive at something that can um, benefit the whole, and then I think it's a good thing if they should know it is coming from the build, because that is what we're all about. So since we have, thank you to attend today's call. Happy New Year. I hope we have a blasting season 10, and enjoy the rest of your day or night, depending wherever you are. And yeah, that's it. If, if yeah, the floor is also allowed.
I think in the end, the everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Kosti, Samawiji, Oxlaw, Kolade, Tiffany, Gabi, Great, Epolite, and what they say. Enjoy your day, everyone. Happy nights, everyone. Thank you.